Waholi Utah is an under-construction, single-family home golf community development located just north of the famous Park City, Utah. Waholi Utah qualifies as a rural TEA, which means EB5 investors in this project will receive green cards faster and qualify for a 20% EB5 visa set aside, which will help investors avoid future visa backlogs. Benefits of rural EB5 projects. The Waholi EB5 project is located in a rural targeted employment area, or TEA, which offers EB5 investors many benefits. One of these benefits is that a number of EB5 visas are reserved each year for investments in rural TEAs. Historically, the primary reason for investing in a TEA project was that doing so entitled investors to a reduced investment requirement. Under the EB5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022, this benefit remains true. The minimum investment for TEA projects is $800,000 as opposed to the standard minimum investment amount of $1,050,000. The addition of reserved EB5 visas makes the rural TEA projects particularly attractive. To be eligible for a reserved visa, investors in rural TEA projects must have I-526E priority dates on or after March 15, 2022. Investors from nations with low demand for EB5 visas are expected to experience slightly faster visa processing relative to normal. The greatest benefit, however, will be felt by investors from countries experiencing or likely to experience visa retrogression. Reserved visas are given priority even if a country is otherwise experiencing visa retrogression. Investors eligible for reserved visas who would typically have to wait for a visa due to retrogression may face a shorter or no delay in EB5 visa availability. For example, Chinese nationals who invest in rural TEA projects will not have to wait for cutoff dates to advance. In many cases, they may be able to immigrate to the United States years earlier than investors who do not qualify for reserved visas. Investing in a rural TEA project offers the greatest opportunity to obtain a reserved visa. EB5 visas reserved for investors in rural TEA projects represent 20% of total EB5 visas, double the number set aside for high unemployment TEAs, and 10 times greater than the number set aside for infrastructure projects. Additionally, rural projects have historically represented a small minority of all EB5 projects, which likely means less competition for the limited supply of reserved visas. The earlier investors make qualifying investments in TEA projects and file their I-526E petitions, the better likelihood they will obtain reserved visas for themselves and their families. As a project in a rural TEA, Waholi Utah offers investors faster I-526E processing, meaning a reduced wait time for green cards with a 20% EB5 visa set aside.